Hey, good morning, good morning, good morning from West Palm Beach. Just giving you a shout out. We're getting ready to start day 3 with Date with Destiny.
What would happen if you knew you were not only more than enough, but that everything in your life has been guided? What if everything in life, every single moment, the pain and the problems, the opportunities, the love, the joy, what if all of it was divine timing? Time for the journey to begin. Problems are what make us grow. Problems are what sculpt our soul. Problems are what make us become more. If we can realize that life is always happening for us, not to us, game over. All the pain and suffering disappears.
Incredible experience, very long days. Man, I'll tell you what, these people are freaking intense. Anthony is very intense, very passionate about giving value, changing lives, and that's why people come here to these events. So we're going to begin day 3. It usually starts around 10:30, and it'll go to like 1:30, maybe 2 in the morning. You might say, hey David, you might say that's totally crazy. Who does that? Anthony Robbins does that. And I'll tell you what, 5,000 people in that room, most of them will do that too. And there is 67 countries here represented at this event. I mean, it's funny. It's like this is part of West Palm Beach's culture, is the Date with Destiny events that Anthony Robbins repeatedly comes back and he does. So even the Uber drivers, they're all very familiar with Anthony Robbins. You know, it's like, and if you leave the place, good morning, Eduardo. And if you leave the place early and go to a restaurant across the street, even the people that greet you at the restaurant, they'll say, you left early, didn't you? So Anthony also has a house here. Well, he's got a lot of houses. But anyway, Deanna, nice to see you. ¿Cómo está? Okay. Christy in Savannah, nice to see you. So, it's really interesting because it's like going to a class every day. We have these workbooks. This is a workbook, okay? And then, then they'll refer to pages and then have these huge screens where you go over it. And then people will volunteer their own experiences on the subject being discussed, their lives, what's some of the challenges. This is all about overcoming challenges, but it's also about discovering, hey Kelly, it's also about discovering who you are. And it's interesting that a lot of times we play these games with ourselves thinking we do, no, we don't know. We don't understand the forces driving us. And as he so famously says it's either driven by pain or pleasure. But then those emotions are all rooted in beliefs or experiences that we've gone through. That affects our relationships with others. It affects our ability to perform in business. It also affects how we feel about ourselves. Good morning, Billy. So I'll just share one thought because we're going to be leaving soon. So on this, on one page, page 52 in the workbook, okay, talked about evaluating your spheres of influence. Spheres of influence. So they give you an example of this. I don't have my page backward, but you can see those 3 circles. And so just imagine that. So that's basically the filters in which we see life. And that is the order of the circles just depends on, hey, Mindy, what's going on? I'm talking about page 52 really quick because I enjoyed that yesterday. Good morning, Mindy. Anyway, so Mindy knows what I'm talking about because she goes to a lot of these events. She also is part of these events. So I'm talking about your spheres of influence, and so again, that's work, relationships, and me. That is yourself, right? Eduardo, this is a workbook that they give you at Date with Destiny. It's not a book you can buy. But so here again, it's work, relationships, and me, and everybody has them in different orders based on their beliefs, their importance, to their lives. A young person, for example, might have relationships as the very one thing because they like their friends, right? They want to hang out, they want to go have fun. Angie, good morning. Some people might have work because making money is everything to them. You go to Asia, that's probably going to be the first one, okay? And then me, where you're more focused on yourself, maybe having a lot of pleasure, I don't know, things like that. It's just the order, and everybody's different. The thing about it is, it talks about in the book here, we have to discover it, what it all means to us, these filters, and how we view people, our work, our life, and how it affects us. So so we were asked in the workbook, now you put it down in the page, my messy page, you put it down, your order, how your life is. And you got to be honest, because why go there if you're not going to be, right? So number 1, I put work, then relationships, then me. Okay, why? Okay, so, and then it asks the second question after you've done that. Once you draw these circles, write down the top 2 needs you are attempting to meet from each of these spheres. So the first one is work. That is, so my one need was getting better at what I do. And then second, growing the business. The second sphere, that is relationships. My first need, making a bigger impact. My second need, nurturing. That is nurturing those relationships. That affects your children, that affects your spouse, that affects your friends, maybe the people in your business. And network marketing, we're in the people business. Number 3, and that is me, that circle. Number 1 need, personal growth. Second need, breakthroughs. Every day that you come here, that's exactly what you're looking for, is a breakthrough. There's 6 days at this event, and it's a shame to come and not experience a breakthrough. So that's why you really got to be brutally honest and not try to look good to yourself, and then really truthfully answer these questions. So the third question was, what problems can you predict that might occur with this set of spheres or circles? We're talking, these are filters. How we see the world, how we see ourselves, how we see our relationships, okay? And again, these are not comfortable questions. I don't know why they're asking me that. Anyway, so we're talking about the arrangement, because everybody arranges them differently on importance, okay? So work, relationships, and me. Number one, on work, I put overwhelm, compromising family life, feel guilty if I work and I'm getting my words right. Feel guilty if I work so much and I'm neglecting my family. On the other hand, if I feel guilty then if I'm so focused on the family that I neglect my work. So, and then as far as how, let me see, that's the problem with this arrangement. And then with me, then I lose my values. So, the thing is, what I realized in this situation with these filters, work, relationships, and me, is that you have to find the balance. They're not competitive to one another. See, I always saw them as competitive. If I lose either way. If I'm so involved in my work, then I could lose my family, the joy of being with my family, the kids, my wife, all that. The family life suffers, right? On the other hand, if I'm with the family and I'm spending too much time there, then I'm not doing what I should be doing in my work. So either way, I lose. It's, so not seeing them as competitive, seeing them as they are. They're all beautiful. They're all needed. We all need to do it. The thing is, we've got to find the balance, and the balance is something that we have to do. We have to schedule. We have to schedule our time, on how we're going to spend time in these areas. One girl got up and talked about that she was so focused on work that she didn't have time for relationships with her friends, and a lot of people missed her family, and all that. So she saw that she had to rearrange these circles, and then understand too what would be the problems, with the existing way she had it, and what she was going to do to change it. So lastly, what are some of the solutions you can implement to solve, at least minimize some of these problems? I put balance, perception equals they're all good, they're not competitive. I need to shift the spears when the need arises in one or another. And that's the thing. The order that you put them it's not permanent. Sometimes you have to change that order. For example, there might come a time where you have a crisis in your work and you're going to have to give more time to that work. But that's just temporary. So again, it's the balance. And I think that balance is something that networkers need more than ever in their lives. We all need balance. We have to take care of our physical, our spiritual, our emotional, our intellectual needs. Those are the 4 needs. If you can keep them in balance and address those needs, then you're unstoppable. So those are just some of my thoughts. And yes, Mindy. Yeah. So everyone, have a wonderful day. We got to get out of here. And love all of you guys. Talk to you soon.